Walk and Talk podcast, now sweetened by Noble Citrus. Bite into a juicy crunch tangerine, 40 years perfected, seedless and oh so tasty. Or savor a starburst pomelo, the giant citrus with a unique zing. Don't miss autumn honey tangerines, big and easy to peel. Noble. Generations of citrus expertise, delivering exceptional flavor year-round. Taste the difference with Noble Citrus. Hello, food fam. This is the Walk and Talk podcast, where you will find the perfect blend of food, fun, and cooking knowledge. I'm your host, Carl Fiadini. Welcome to the #1 food podcast in the country. We're podcasting on site at Amidst Images Studios, where food photography comes alive, and I get to eat it. Oh my! And did I eat it today? Oh my goodness! First things first. We've been cooking up some nostalgic food favorites for the last few weeks. Jeff and I, we polled the audience about featuring the glorious Monte Cristo sandwich, elevated, of course. It's a Jefferson way of doing things. It was a resounding, mostly. Yes. There were a few naysayers, but we don't listen to such foolery. It's a classic Sammy, and we're here for it. On the menu today, it's all about the pork, baby. Sandwiches to pot stickers. We're going to hog heaven, okay? That's basically what's going on today. And I can't wait to get into this Monte Cristo, the full Monte. Oh, yeah, it's the full Monte. Thank you, Peninsula Food Service, for supplying the proteins for today's production. Chefs in the Central Florida area, Peninsula is the largest distributor of Creekstone Farms beef in the Southeast United States. They're complete with a fully staffed butcher shop to help you solve your kitchen inconsistencies. Check out their dry age program as well. It's amazing. Our guest this week is the Rhonda Findley, author, small business owner, restaurateur, and food stylist. You've heard of her. I know you have. Season 7 of the Emmy-winning Netflix show Queer Eye. Rhonda is on deck. Jefferson, baby. Pop that clutch, slam into that pre-shift, and get into that dish explanation. Let's go, man. Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Real deep.
Like deep. Like I almost fell asleep on the couch. I mean,
food coma.
Oh, like it's real. Listen, when people say, yeah, food coma, you got the sweats. No. It's real. I just experienced it. I was on the couch, I'm like, John, I need some of that. I need some of that espresso. I need some coffee, man. He didn't do any cafe con leche. I was like, you know what? You're fired.
You needed something to go straight into the veins.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the
pick me up.
I did. I took what was left in the pot and I kind of just dripped it into my eyeballs. It was that's what I needed. All right, Jeff, please talk. Go.
Yeah, so the challenge, I definitely wanted to accept that one to make something that was totally different. I mean, we did a poll. It was over 100 different comments between the social media outlets that went around. So it was pretty spectacular to see that, especially the engagement. So thanks everybody that does that and sees what we're doing, because guess what? There's going to be so much more to come too as well. I actually threw a little side, blindsided you guys with that Sloppy Joe. We also called it Sloppy Wilbur. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's pork, it's pig, it's Wilbur. We're talking Charlotte's Web, and yeah, it was a sloppy, and it was delicious.
Yeah. So what's really great about that, going back, my dad loved anything with brown sugar, yellow mustard, Worcestershire was one of his things. He would always his go-to was having Sloppy Joes. So it was kind of an honor to sit there and try to do something and make something up that was a little bit more elevated. And I didn't want to just do any mundane. So stone cups, I just love the vessel. You can do so much with it. Silent John over here he's taking the rest of it. There was a quart. He's going to have some good dinner coming up, definitely. Then we did 2 versions of the Monte Cristo. The one I did was a spring roll, more of an appetizer. Wanted to showcase how you can do it across different meal periods or different meal plans. So appetizer, entree, or sandwich. And then we did the pork loin. The pork loin I wanted to do at saltimbocca. I know some guys or some restaurants out there don't do veal, so they do pork as a substitute. It was fantastic. It's somebody's dinner tonight, not mine.
Yeah, it's mine.
Possibly.
I mean, he's got the Sloppy Wilbur. He's got the Sloppy Joes, man.
Yeah. Well, you also have like a quarter piece left of the Monte Cristo because I wasn't going to have the full quarter. So.
I mean, you saw I had to unbuckle my pants when I sat here at the mic.
Yeah, and it was great to see like what can I do to elevate it. And there's so many things I was going through. One of my buddies who's a corporate chef over on Pillsbury, he posted one of the things that they did. I didn't even realize it that the Monte Cristo is that popular of a remix. Another friend of mine, Jourdain, out in San Francisco, showcased it in a donut. I thought that was absolutely incredible with arugula and then prosciutto di Parma or Iberico ham. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because there's guys are already doing it this way. I got to do something that's completely different. I used to do a crème brûlée-battered French toast, and I said, okay, took some smoked maple syrup, some Angel's Envy bourbon, added that to the crème anglaise, and then dredged that in after drying out some great pieces of thick challah bread, and let it dry out, let it soak up as we were shooting. And then I layered in some Spanish style or Cuban style pork, bourbon ham that I smoked. Let's see what else we had. Honey maple turkey. And then I got a Carabuto prosciutto, which is the equivalent to what would be Wagyu. It's Berkshire, but they do it in the style of Carabuto in Japan. Same kind of thing they do with Wagyu beef in Japan. They do with the pig, the Berkshire. It has so much fat into it. It's got great flavor to it. So that elevated it. But here's where it really got crazy. The raspberry jam had a little bit of chipotle infused in it. And then I creme bruleed or bruleed the top of the bread.
Oh, my God.
And Carl can go ahead and testify about the crunch and everything else that went about it. And
it was everything you thought it would be by looking at that picture. The photo that John took, I mean, first of all, it was like 5 or 6 inches. It was a huge, thick ass sandwich.
Yeah.
And that torched, creme brulee top on the bread, and then you get into the whole thing, the cheese, everything just worked perfectly. And I think you did it proud. I honestly, I would want to see that on somebody's menu, just the way that was. Not
even the spring rolls. You'd said you would want to see on a menu too.
Yeah, I don't want to sleep on those spring rolls, man. Those are really good. In fact, I don't want to say one's better or worse than the other. They're very different. But the way that I could see eating those spring rolls on a regular basis. I can
sandwiches like once a year.
I mean, seriously, like you can't, you have to share that with like 6 or 7 other people.
Well, Silent John, it was funny because he even mentioned about the Sloppy Wilbur was his go-to, but he was like, and he's, just so everyone knows, he doesn't really like cheese that much. He likes mozzarella cheese and some other like neutral cheeses. He took a bite of it. His response was like, I even with the cheese, I like this.
Yeah. I mean, listen, so I mentioned it somewhere along the way that, I'm a Bennigan's alumni, right? So I've had my share of the actual Bennigan's Monte Cristo, which is a classic. And it really matched better. I mean, really, when I posted on my socials about this, everybody crept up from, 25 years ago. Like, yeah, go for it. Hell yeah. F yeah. Let's do it.
Exactly.
It was a whole thing. In fact, you know what? Shout out to Elizabeth Ferris, Christian Hummel, Jeffrey Simmer. You got Ronnie, my boy out in Texas. Who else is on here? What did I see there? Shannon Steiger. Like, these are all people I worked with. Bill Wartell. These are all great people that we all work together and have those like stories from, way back when.
From Waiting, the movie.
That was about as realistic
and Bennigan's as you can possibly get as Bennigan's.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into it, but yes, it's all true.
It's funny because when I posted, Rod Smith, who's one of the founding fathers of the chapter to the ACF, the American Culinary Federation for Palm Beach, he was the one that he goes, you didn't challenge yourself enough. I don't know if you saw that one. And
I did.
I wanted to make sure, and he's right. I mean, there's a level that you have to go to, and I hope I did it proud when he sees these. I mean, because John captures just an amazing artistry of his photography. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, one of the people that left before we're going to bring Rhonda in a second, but right before that, there was somebody on your soul that said something, and I was like, I gave him the big
boo
boo.
Yeah, that was Rod.
Okay, yeah,
that was Rod.
Take
because here's the thing: they did challenges. I remember back in the day, they did a 1-pot challenge, and you'd literally have a quick fire challenge at meetings. So they would do their work and whatever the meeting was, and then you'd have a quick fire. There was like 6, 7, chefs and students going at it. That's fun when you get to that level that you can take something and, not saying to do the chop. Where do you think chopped came from?
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same story as the quick fire go in. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that for a job. I've done that for several. I worked for a very famous chef, and I literally had to go into the kitchen. I had 2 hours to prepare a 3-course meal, and it was carte blanche, whatever you wanted to do.
See, to me, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, stressful. Yeah, I get it. But
it's like walking into that house. His house.
Right.
Carrying your own lamb rack.
we brought the lamb rack here. We're going to cook for you guys.
Do you mind if I
What
cook?
did you say your name was?
Right. Whose house is this?
Where are we? Okay. So, all right. So today, when we bring Rhonda on, I mean, she's a food stylist. Very excited. Like she's worked with some big names. I'm going to let her break the, who she's with and all that good stuff. But I feel like this is, I feel like John, this is going to be like a fun for John.
I even said John might even speak today.
He might say more than one syllable at a time or whatever. All right. Rhonda, you are on the program. Thank you for being on.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's so exciting to be with chefs and former restaurateurs and food lovers, because that's my language. That's my love language, man. And the Monte Cristo, like when you got to the part where you talked about Bennigan's, like my food memories of the Monte Cristo were, going with my parents, and like you could order anything you wanted, sort of small town, like that was our like dining thing, big deal to go to Bennigan's, and I got to order the Monte Cristo with the powdered sugar, and it just brought back memories, and that's what food does. It tells a story of our past, and where we're at in our lives, and making memories with people that we love or people that we respect.
Rhonda, so we're going to get into some questions with you in a second, but before we do, go ahead and give like the airplane view, the 30-second view of, who you are, what you're doing, and where you came from.
Thank you for asking. I got lucky. I've always been in the food business. I've been a waitress, and I've been a sommelier. I've been a manager. And as I've gone through life, I've been asked to write cookbooks for chefs that have been on public television. I was a ghostwriter, but I was kept a full-time gig while I did all those things. And as I've sort of progressed in my career, I was able to take every little bit that I've learned from all those different aspects of the food business and working under professional chefs that were very accomplished. I'm now doing freelance work on film and television, and mainly with food. So even though sometimes I'm considered a prop stylist, I'm a food stylist, and I only work with food. And that's what I've done. And I just finished season 7 and 8 of Queer Eye, which I'm intensely proud of because of the people and the concept and why we do food. And in particular, working under Anthony Porowski, Emmy Award-winning star of Netflix, I've been able to tell those stories using my skill sets. And it's been an amazing ride. And that's what I am doing now and who I am.
And that is, and congratulations. I mean, you're part of that, and it's a beautiful thing. I mean, we spoke at length about this yesterday for about an hour, and really, congratulations to what you got going on.
Thank you. Can I just want.
Let me tell you about my friends over at Citrus America and their amazing juicing equipment. They're revolutionizing the way you enjoy freshly squeezed juice. They're at the best hotels, restaurants, and markets. Their mission is simple. Develop a unique consumer experience with on-premise juicing, deliver healthy taste options to clientele, and juice more faster. It's that easy. Citrus America supplies the highest quality juicing equipment and solutions in the industry. So whether you're a small business owner or a large corporation, Citrus America has the right juicing equipment for you. Find out more at citrusamerica.com.